Hello there, tarot friends. I see people here already. Let me adjust my laptop here. Hello, hello. So we have Nancy and Jamie and Tammy and Sandra. Hello, everyone. See you all getting your tea. Kristen, hello, good morning. Your tea or coffee, I should say. That was just the last thing I read. So I'm working on my first coffee still here. But I've got like a little less than half, but it will get me through. So we are here this week to talk about the Starborn, and I saw that Nancy was excited. I'm looking forward to this one. So, I see 7, but I don't know how to see who else here. But I thought, oh, hi, Robin. Thank you so much for stopping in. I do have one little extra thing I want to do today before we really get started, and that way we'll wait, and then if the notification goes out in a minute or so, then we won't miss anyone when we start talking about the card. But I have my Kelly Bear pouch to show off, so I figured we could do that. I'm still, I don't know why, I just feel like shuffling this for a minute. So how's everyone doing today? I think I saw Nancy say that it's a slow, rainy morning. That's how it is here. I'm just I ate kind of a big breakfast, and so I'm all full and cozy and feeling kind of sleepy. But I got pretty good rest. So let me just put those back in here, and I will show you my Kelly bag, because what I'm going to do, I'm pretty sure, is that my idiosyncratic deck is going to go in there. Here we go. Oh, and I was going to talk about next Sunday as well, just kind of while we're waiting and getting warmed up. Hi, Jackie. Jamie says 7 a.m. I'm barely awake. Well, thank you for being here. Oh, hello, Sue. Good morning. Yeah, Sandra, you keep missing them. I sat out last time, one, because I'd already spent my tarot money for that little block of time, but I would have sat out last time anyway to make sure some other people could get things that they wanted. But I do really love them. I'm excited to put a deck in there and see how it goes. So Robin says, I'm so happy that I got out very early to the grocery this morning and home in time to miss the rain. A big plus for shopping early on Sunday morning. The place was empty. Oh yeah, and not having to carry all that stuff in the rain. That's awesome. Gerald, hello. Chris is here. Hello. Chris says it's 3 p.m. here and I'm barely awake either. It is like a really sleepy day. I don't know. I'm just really, I don't know. Didn't do eyes or anything. Just a tiny little lipstick, because that's all I could manage. I wanted to continue feeling cozy. So, I spent the day sleeping after my second vaccine. I'm feeling fine today. Oh, good. I'm glad you're feeling better. I know I popped in somewhere really quickly yesterday. I think Jilly's, I couldn't stay, but I think that's where I saw you, Gerald, say that you had a headache. So I'm glad you're feeling better. So my idiosyncratic deck is going in my Kelly Bear bag, because I posted this in the group yesterday. Have I ever let Max put my lipstick on for me? No, but he would probably love that. So yeah, he occasionally is near me when I'm putting on makeup, but I only wear it maybe like once or twice a week. So he saw me putting on my blush one day and he wanted some. So then I put some on and he said, oh, that feels nice. But he meant like the brush, So I'm sure we'll get to the lipstick stage. So here is my Kelly Bear pouch, and I'm so excited. Hi, Ishi. Expecting a delivery. I know, don't these things just get in the way? Um, so yeah, this was her favorite one, and I actually didn't really have my eye on a particular bag because I thought that's going to make it too much pressure for me, and I just want one. I want any one that there is. I didn't really even have a plan of like decks that I had that I thought maybe I'd want to put in a certain bag. And so I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to get one. I have enough decks. I'm sure I can figure out something that will go in there. So what happened was I picked a different one because I thought this probably would have been on some people's list because she said it was her favorite. And I thought maybe someone has a really particular thing they want for that. And so I'll leave that one alone. This is how I am. I'm like, I'll just take whatever so that someone else is happy, but I'm just like imagining what other people want. Does that make sense? Like, I just don't care. Kristen, that's okay. I feel you on the husband front. These things happen. Um, Jackie and Sandra say they were the same too. I'm like, I'll leave that dragon one alone because everyone was flipped out about it and really thought it was awesome. So I'll get, I think it was a black one with a tree. And I think Neem ended up getting that one because we were talking later. And I thought that's simple black with a tree. I can find something that kind of matches that vibe. And so I tried to get that. And um, then I went to fill out the payment information and it said there was some problem with my address. And so then I backed out and then I was freaked out because I'm like, no, these are going fast. I bet the system was glitching. And so then I just grabbed the next one that was up there because they weren't all loaded at the same time, right? It would only show me like 4 at a time. And I think everything was just going so fast that it was just glitchy. And so I just grabbed it because it was the next one. And so then I like had this guilt about taking the dragon bag. But you know what? That's how it worked out. And then there was no problem with my address, even though I made no changes. So here's the little dragon charm. Cute, cute. So there's that. They were all going as I clicked to pay. I ended up with my 4th try. It was the absolute last one. It was crazy. So anyway, it's a little more teal. It is kind of bright blue, but the light is showing it brighter. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, with the dark orange glitter ribbon and then the inside. Good morning, Diane. And so then the inside has the little teal heart and it's so cute. So then after I thought, after I knew which one I was getting, it was meant to be yours. Yes. So after I ordered it and I knew it was mine, I thought I do have something that kind of matches that, my idiosyncratic. Now these are a little more green than the bag is, but I don't care that much about how much it matches. Like to me, it goes with it. I don't know if there's a lot of orange in this. There's some orange. Don't fall in love with this. It's super out of print and never coming back. But there's a reimagining of this deck coming, so I don't feel quite as bad showing it. So like there's some orange in the arrow one. Oh, and the Emperor. Look, there's some orange. So it was enough for me to think about this deck, you know, because I didn't even come into my room or anything. I just was kind of sitting around thinking, I mean, it was a work day, so then I'm working and I'm thinking, what will go in that bag? And I feel like this is perfect. Plus, this is Kelly Bear's favorite one out of that lot. And this is my, can I say my favorite deck? I don't call it my soul deck. I call something else my soul deck, which is a whole different story because the one I bought was actually a fake. And I got the real one like a month ago. So I still need to do a video about that whole thing and correct the creator because I did this whole my soul deck video about a fraud deck. So that's sad. But oh, and the tower kind of has that orangey vibe too. So anyway, that's that. Tylenol is my friend to help lessen the headache and a little body aches, but I drank extra water. Yes. Yep. I saw someone talking about like preloading the Tylenol before you get that vaccine. I have an appointment for my first one on April 29th. So it's out of ways, but I can keep looking for other opportunities between now and then. But I'm I'm okay with that because I get to stay home. So if something else pops up, I will grab it. But for now, I'm keeping my appointment on April 29th. And that was a lot like buying a Kelly bag. It felt like buying concert tickets. The appointments were disappearing. You had to scroll down and click, like, I accept whatever. And then by the time I got down to the bottom and clicked that, it said, this appointment time is gone. Please choose another day. It was insane. But anyway, so exciting. Should I put the cards facing me? I don't know. Or like that. Oh, I feel like they want to be up facing me. Okay, so anyway, sorry. This is a whole to-do about my Kelly pouch, I guess I should call it. Oh, it fits perfectly. Oh, it's so exciting. Oh, it's so snug in there, but it's like perfect. You don't have to. Oh, wow, it's really nice. Okay. I want 50 of these. I need 50. Look. And it sits, and she went on this whole thing because I made a comment about like pouches are okay, but I don't like how the side cards are pulled up. Do you know what I mean? Like when you put them in the pouch and you pull the strings, then they're not flat on the bottom. And this is just like my like OCPD, which is not OCD, but like a just having to have things a certain way. Like I don't like that they're not just sitting all flat, and these are sitting flat in here. And it's just like a perfect little hug. It's like not this is Idiosyncratic, Robin. This came into my collection in like the fall of 2020 because I met this really awesome person who was willing to sell it for not $600. So, oh my gosh. But this is coming out as like a reimagined thing that she's sort of leisurely working on. This creator has had other decks come out in the meantime, and her Oracle is fully funded on Kickstarter. I'm not sure if the campaign has ended yet or not, but the Phenomena Oracle, they also have out the Amethyst Oracle, which I have. I had that first because when I found out about this deck, I totally freaked out, and it was before I knew that out of print was a thing. It was like right when I first started hanging out on TarotTube. And so I'm like, I will go buy that. It is the cutest. And I went, and this creator in particular had this message up like, please don't ask me for the Idiosyncratic deck. It's never coming back. And I could have cried. Like, what are you talking about? But anyway, I have a whole rambling video on this if you want to see me get really excited about it. I won't go into it today, but you can follow the Cracked Amethyst on Instagram, or sign up for a newsletter and kind of follow the progress of other things this creator has been doing. Also, the creator of the the Botanica deck, right? Because their last name is Bot. Can't think of what it's called, but I love it. It's like a double, it's like a tarot and arrow. Sip, sip. Tarot and Oracle deck together, but like it's boxed as two, but you can mix it all together if you want. Anyway, I love her stuff. So anyway, Phenomena Oracle is available, and it's done in a similar style, like this vector art, which I just think is really cute. Yes, Jessica. So this one, I think on all social media, she is the Cracked Amethyst. So there's that. Because this deck is like probably my favorite, I don't know. It's so hard for me to say that. I know it's hard for everyone, but I use and love all my decks. So anyway, enough about that. Sorry. Ooh, Gerald just ordered the Botanica. This one that we're talking about or a different one? There are so many. It's like in a purple box. I was thinking about that the other day, actually. I haven't used it. Oh, let me just wrap you up. Hi, dragon. You feel like a girl dragon to me. Oh, okay. This is nice. Look at it. Okay. All right. Moving on to what we're here for. Had to have a Kelly moment. Should I stand it up? I'll go right there by my 5 cent. Okay. Here we go. This week, we are here to discuss the Starborn. So, Gerald, I think maybe this is your first time to this series. So, if you happen to hang out in the future, and maybe Robin too, I don't know. And I think Robin, I sent you an invite to this group already, and really, it's called Blue Crescent Tarot Room. And I know there are so many tarot groups, so my plan is to keep that group really small among people that I actually know, and we're just keeping it kind of like that. Um, but please please don't feel obligated to join it. If you are maxed out on your tarot groups, it's totally fine. I just wanted to send invites to people that I know who have been um, popping in. So the other point is, Gerald, I will send you an invite for that, and it's basically oh, Robin, no problem at all, no problem. And that's what I wanted to say too, because I thought that might be the case. Um, we My little group is going to go on after this series, so it doesn't have to be about this. If you find something, you can post it in there. Like, I don't care about that because I think there's maybe like 14 people. So if you ever want to put some random tarot thing in there that you don't feel belongs in a different tarot group, that's totally fine, right? We're just going to keep it small. So totally fine. And you don't have to be into this deck. Thank you for saying hi. Yes, this is the Kim Krans deck. Okay, so the Starborn. And I'm behind on coloring. I did this as I posted in the group the other day. That's how much I've done. But we'll get there. And the pens that Diane sent are working really well. So they're like super liquidy and kind of like paint, but it seems to dry fine. So we'll see. Okay, so the keywords for the Starborn, the Divine Child, the Star Child, the Destined. Our left margin note says, have your chart read, study your constellated shape, ask questions. What does the process conjure in you, faith or mistrust? See, this is another thing I like about how she writes this, because the invite to take on the information however you feel is there, right? She's not saying you have to believe in the Starborn concept. She's not saying you have to believe or follow astrology or any other thing that we're going to come across here, right? So, I just thought about Becca just going off the rails on that person the other day. You guys, that was the best worst tarot moment of the week. Oh my gosh. I love Becca. It was just so funny. She was not having that. And it was really kind of this like loaded, all of these zodiac references, and is this person still love me or whatever, right? It's just the standard whatever. And so I know there's this huge tie between, I'm a Libra and a Leo rising, and does this Virgo person still have feelings for me, right? Like, I get that that's a thing that often comes packaged together. And so I get that. Like, I am a lover of astrology. I believe in pre-birth planning and soul contracts and past lives. and all of this shit, right? But it was just, it's like, it's like someone pulled the pin out. Like that was the last. People have come in there before. You guys, this would have been like, and I'm not calling her out, by the way. I love her so much. She just, she has had other people come in and ask for readings. She's like, oh, sorry, we don't do readings here. X and Y and Z do readings on their channels. Check them out. But this particular one was like loaded with the astrology stuff. And like someone pulled the pin out and it just, and some of it I feel is true, right? Like maybe we should stop asking, not we, but there's nothing wrong with asking about love readings or anything like that, because that occupies a lot of our life, right? And our mind, and I get it. Yeah. And so what happened, I did feel a bit sorry for them too, but that's just, like I wouldn't have responded that way, but it's like that's her take on it. And it's really my take on it too, because I don't think people should be asking, and not that this person was, I don't know anything about this person, repeatedly every week, how does this person feel about me, blah, 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 blah. It's like we need to help our clients, our friends, whoever, move out of, now I don't even have these very often, but to move out of that space of asking, how does this person feel about me? How does this person feel about me? How does this person feel about me? Are they talking about me? Like all of that kind of surfacey stuff, because it's not, the tarot reading, in my opinion, it can involve many other people, but it shouldn't be about the other person. It should be about you, right? So it's a very, wow, we're going off track, but that's okay. It should be centered on that person. How can I affect change here? How can I better support this person? How can I let this person know how I feel about them? How should I plan next steps on this path with this person? Okay, so just a little soapbox moment, but it must have been, I think, Wednesday, because that's the day that I can always be there. So I think it was Wednesday. So anyway, what Becca had said that I agree with was, if you need to ask these questions, then it's probably a shit relationship. And it was just so funny. I mean, it was in true Becca style, but it was just like a little edgier than normal as it was directed to one person. But I mean, it was gold, but I did feel a little bit bad for the person. Oh gosh. So anyway, yeah, she was like, basically, if you have to be this focused and wonder about the placement of the stars and like all of this, then it's probably, too much. Anyway, I don't remember even what the hell. Oh, because I was talking about the way Kim Krans writes this, that it's an invite to consider these things. It is not, this is how things are. And I've been wanting to make a note about that here on my channel as well, because I am super into all that woo stuff. I sometimes when I talk about it, I probably sound really like in my convictions about it and like this is the way things are. But please know that I'm never pushing that on anyone else. I try to preface it with, this is my belief system, this is my paradigm, this is how I operate. But I'm sure sometimes I will dive in and will sound like it's the way, right? And I don't ever mean to do that about astrology or past lives or anything, like anything that I talk about. So please know that. And if you ever feel like I'm getting into that territory or it feels exclusionary, please feel free to bring it up to me. Kristen, I made it back from the bowels of TD Ameritrade. Oh my gosh. Welcome back. I've just been giving like a poor recap of Becca's response to the astrology reading person that came in that day. I can't remember if you were there. Sip, sip. Okay. Okay, good. Jackie, Sandra, thank you. I want to be sensitive to that. I don't, you know, I want you all to do your thing. It's cool. Okay. So the sentence that triggered all this was the process of having your chart read. What does that conjure in you, faith or mistrust, right? So it's like an open, like just do this thing. And how does it make you feel? Like maybe you hate it, right? Like a great example. I think Robin probably bowed out now, but he said, this deck isn't for me. Sorry, just wanted to say hi, right? Perfect. Like, it's fine. That's a great example, right? Great. Okay. What I'm like all thumbs uppy today. It's the second time I've done that. I'm really old. Okay. Here we go. What would happen if you saw the galaxy as your ally? Okay. Then there are these questions. What would happen if you viewed something this way? Right? It's just an invite to consider. I love that. The right margin note. I'm manic. Sorry. When this card appears, don't be surprised if you receive a surge of desire for a long lost dream, one you haven't visited since childhood. Let this desire shake you up. So even if you're not into all this content wise, you could use this card for many things, for a writing prompt, for a gratitude challenge, for storytelling, for an intuitive reading, right? I think it's super beautiful. You know, what do you, and I'm not trying to sell the deck, but I'm just saying I feel that this is multifaceted and you don't have to use anything with the book, without a book in a certain way. You know, I've had my chart done, but don't know enough about astrology to truly understand it. It can be a lot to unpack at first. And it's something that I keep saying that I'm going to do on this channel is I need more blanks. So I used to do star charts and I would draw in, I mean, I am not an astrologer to the point that I can just take someone's information and draw that up. Like, I don't know if that's even a thing. Like, I would be using the software. I'm sure I could use a book and like figure that out. But I use a program, or I did. I haven't done it in a long time. I use a program to pull up the person's information, but then I draw in on a blank star chart. So I make the placements and everything like that. So that helped me. Like I would go around and place one round of things. Then I would go around and place like what I call like additional aspects. And that helped me each time I was working through it. So point being, there is a lot to unpack and we might try to do that and like just do one house, right? Like we'd start with the first house and then I would like put my first house things in and then I would show you and then we would go through and like build mine together. The stubborn. Oh, good. Can we talk about my chart? Double cap Taurus rising. That is a lot of potentially stubborn energy, but also lots of other beautiful things. Sip, sip, the cosmic egg. Right, you could read it like that. Edgy. I recommend a natal chart reading. I had one for the first time recently and explained so much, made me feel that my experience of life had some reason behind it. Yeah, and it can be kind of like comforting and give this structure. Just like with tarot readings, I do predictive readings, but I don't believe that anything is set. we have free will, we can make these other choices and changes, and that leads us on another little line of our path that we had also already preset, in my belief, right? So there is free will and you can make changes, but in our pre-birth plan, we allowed room for those changes, and we will get back to the big anchor things that we need to get back to. And if we soul evolve in the meantime and we treat things and people with unconditional love, and not that we can always do that, and I'm not saying positive vibe everything, but if there are big soul changes like that that we make, it is my belief that we then can erase some of those like anchors that maybe would have been struggles for us if we learn those things ahead of time, which is mostly done through shifting into unconditional love. When we feel we're able to do that, then some of those struggles can be erased. Most of my belief in this comes from having read Robert Schwartz's Your Soul's Plan. And he has a second book called Your Soul's Gift, and it's just kind of more of the same with different experiences. But as I've said before, please note those experiences might be triggering for some people. The whole premise was that he sat with mediums who can channel to spirit side during pre-birth planning, like they can tap into you sitting there with your counsel and making your plan. And what he did was he used people who had had like major traumas in their life, and that's the lens through which everything is told. So do understand that like there are times in my life where that would not have been a good book for me to read. But I read it maybe 3 years ago, and it was a perfect time for me to read it, and it actually felt very comforting to me. So there's that. The reason I asked over the cosmic egg is because Rachel mentions it in The Fool. Oh, very nice. See, I need to get into some Rachel stuff. When you said cosmic egg, I thought about Kim Krans. It would be in the Animal Spirit deck because she has a cosmic egg card as one of the spirit cards in that deck. But thank you for that reference, because that's a reminder that I need to get some Rachel stuff in my life. Do you need to know your exact time of birth for a natal chart? It is best to know that. If you know morning, afternoon, evening, that's helpful, but as close as you can get it, that does provide some extra specifics. Does this concept suggest that you choose trauma events, being enslaved, etc.? Yes, it does. So yeah, it's not going to be for everyone. But I will say that the way he writes it kind of reminds me of this. And so that's why I'm babbling about that as well. This reminds me of that. As the intro of the pop-up, sorry. In the intro of that book, he explains, if you can step into this kind of viewing and, open-mindedness about these things, all of these people have agreed, all these people that I'm interviewing have agreed that this has changed their life in really positive ways and has led them to their purpose. But he also says, of course, no one in this realm is going to say, I am glad I chose this. Most of the people said, I understand the purpose of my choosing. And I, now having sort of been in that mediumship on the soul side and on spirit side, can understand that the soul chooses things much differently than a human chooses things. So again, that's why I know I've said it before, but I just want to be really upfront about that, because it's not going to be easy or a welcomed topic to everyone. I guess this is all related to the Starborn. I was going to apologize for rambling, but I think for me, it's kind of all part of it. Okay, so then At the bottom, we have when light, when dark, go deeper. When light, a light, trusting, vibrant, aimed. When dark, feeling of misalignment, loss of longing. Go deeper. Loss of longing. Should that be loss or longing? I don't understand. When dark, feeling of misalignment. Oh, loss of longing for something, like longing in the positive aspect. Like I'm longing for this childhood dream I had or whatever, right? So when this card or aspect is in the dark aspect, it means there's a loss of longing, like apathy, right? And to go deeper, Tripping Over Joy by Hafez and Shakespeare's Star-Crossed Lovers. Oh, that makes me think of soliloquy. Why don't I know those things? Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life. There it is. Okay. Knew it was in there somewhere. Oh, I saw Sandra say that she has her time now so she can get a chart done. Sandra, I think you will really enjoy it. It's fun. I think it's really fun. Tammy says, oh boy, as if the father archetype wasn't enough for me. Can we do the stubborn instead? Well, we've read through it and that's it. So now we can talk about that. Jackie says she can't remember hers. Jamie, sip, sip, deep. Rambles are good. Well, good. Is she has to go. Going to catch us later. Thank you so much for being here. I don't know my exact time of birth, but after a few Zoom meetings, Julianne Victoria estimated my time of birth was around 2 p.m. I had my Vedic moon chart done by JV. That's awesome. Yeah. Where do you find out if you can't ask your mom? Like county records, county birth records. Here's a stupid American question. Do you all have counties? Or they're called something cuter, probably. Yeah, okay. So, Starborn. What do we think? Yes. Okay, yes, you have counties. So what I was going to do is because I thought this one might be kind of quick, not that we have to be done with it, but I am going to go read part of the intro like we do every week. I'm just impressed that you quoted Shakespeare. I know a little bit. I love that. That's like we had to do one in school, but that's not. I did Juliet's monologue in school. But I know that for some reason. I just love it, I think, and so it's stuck in my head. Okay. Oh, midnight 30. So I wondered, like, we might use, I think next week, here's what I'm trying to spit out. I think next week we are going to, did I read the main part? Gosh, I'm sorry. No, I didn't. Oh, Lord. Okay, are you ready for the main paragraph for this card? Gosh, you guys. Okay, here we go. I should stop quoting Shakespeare and just read for the card that we're here to discuss today. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Nancy. I like the cosmic spark bit as well. That felt really open to me, and like many people would be able to relate to that. So that you're on it. We're on the same wavelength, and thank you for bringing me back. An elusive yet radiant aspect of the self, the starborn archetype points to the cosmic spark of light that arrives with each being at birth. The moment the newborn crowns, whether vaginally or surgically, the royal stars above are said to constellate in a unique shape that maps our path in the world. The idea of destiny is controversial, yet the starborn naturally feels a sense of destination and purpose, aiming itself toward a future that is beyond the mundane. Right. So I feel like we can all kind of get behind that energy, even if we're not taking on the rest of that belief system. When this card appears, travel back to your birth story for clues and insight. What did you desire when you were young? Practice seeing your life from a mythic point of view rather than as a series of logistics. Read the story of the three fates and envision yourself born under the stars with a unique destiny. Isn't that beautiful? That is beautiful. Jackie says, I was adopted, so no tag. What does that mean? That is wonderful. She kept the tag. Oh. Oh, Jackie doesn't have a tag. I'm sorry. Hmm. I know a person who is like really good with tracing like ancestry and stuff like that and records. Your county records will have time of birth though. Yeah. Adoption records. Good questions. That is beautiful, Dee, and the three fates. Yes. So after all of my woo talk about this, I feel like reading the main part of it makes it pretty accessible. Again, love this. Okay. So, yeah, if there's anything that you ever miss or like you want me to snap a picture or like put a quote in the group that like something that was sticking with you that you couldn't really remember, anything you want like that, let me know and I can put it up in the group. I also saw, I'm going to assume Diane asking what color we will do this one. So what do you think for the back of this? Now I'm also open to doing multicolors on the backs, just so you know. Like I don't care what these end up look. I do care what they look like, but I'm not. It doesn't have to be uniform. So what color for our Starborn? Right. So just basically this idea of destiny, that there's something driving us or that there's something that we're driven to, right? Even if we want to take it all on ourselves and say, I'm in control of this, which I mean, I believe anyway, right? I'm driving. It's just, there's a roadmap I've already put out. Jackie says purple. And you'll have to remind me too, because I always ask this and then I never write it down and I'm behind on coloring. Sorry, kids. Tammy says, Jackie, you can look at your life so far, you'll know exactly your path. Right. And I think there are ways that we can work through some of that stuff too. Planning to visit Edmonton when Canada opens to see if I could research my time of birth. Very good. Very good. So I was also thinking, so the next two, Calvin hears you and is singing to you. I think your voice must be like his former owner's voice. Oh, I love that. I think that happened last time when I read the paragraph that Kelvin was enjoying that. So like when when it's this kind of like sustained example of it. Oh, Kelvin, what else do you want me to read? So cute. Oh, Sue, thank you. I don't know how well I'm staying focused as I almost just went on to another card. But you're sweet. Thank you. So our next two, I'm kind of thinking about after this week is pairing them up and doing two cards at a time. So Eternal Child is kind of like more like the Starborn, but I want to save it for next week if that's okay. So Eternal Child and the Orphan are the next two. So how do you feel about pairing those? Let me know what you think about that. Oh, Calvin enjoys Shakespeare. Shall I go back to the, what is that? It's the opening to Romeo and Juliet, yeah? There's a fancy name. I don't know if I know the whole thing. I probably do. And it's related because it's talking about the star-crossed lovers. So Eternal Child and Orphan. Should we do those both next week? Oh, and that's what I was going to ask like a half hour ago. So next Sunday is Easter. That's got to be the same everywhere, right? I don't know. I'm sorry. Are these dumb questions? We're not doing, we used to all get together just for a family dinner on Easter, like an excuse to hang out and do like an Easter egg hunt in the yard for all the kids. But of course, we are not all getting together with a big family this year. It'll just be me and Ryan and Max, like it was last year, on doing Easter eggs around the house or the yard or whatever. So it's no problem for me to be here next week. Should we just continue on? And if you can be here, you can be here. And if you can't, you can't. And we'll do 10 o'clock my time again. Jackie says sounds good for the 2 cards. So I think thank you for letting me kind of stumble through these first 3. And I feel like after this, we can do 2 or sometimes maybe even 3, depending on how it goes. So yeah, we'll plan on 2 cards for next week. Kim, oh, no problem. Probably wrapping up here in a bit, but I did a little intro on the Kelly pouch that I got, and then we went to the card. This one didn't seem to take up quite so much time as the mother and father. I think probably because I wasn't rambling quite so much about my personal experiences, but I still did a little bit. So let me know. So we have purple as a suggestion for this card. I will try to do a little color recap in the group. But yeah. Okay. Jamie says, since my mom passed, Easter isn't the same. I'm sorry. I'm sure it isn't. So I think we'll do that. 2 cards next week. And I don't know why I'm shuffling these again. Just have to. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Like I said, I'll try to spend a little time in group posts today. And Gerald, I will send you an invite to the group. Just a place to continue on discussions from this. Oh my God, my hair. Sorry. And whatever else. It can be, like I said, we're kind of keeping it small. And so it can be for any kind of tarot stuff right now. Doesn't really matter, but mainly about this deck right now. But if you have other things you want to add, please feel free to share. The colors on the first 2, I need to go back and look. I think I remember Kristen suggesting pink and or green for like the maiden mother crone and maybe blue for the crone. So I need to go back and check those, but I'm going to post today. I'll do some color posting and see what we think for those. And then I'll show you the results. I'll try to get some done. So that is that for today. I think we're done a little under the hour. So even though I talked a super lot, we still did okay. And normally I'd stay a little bit extra and talk even more, but because I want to catch up on the colors and setting some stuff up in the group, I think I will just be good and end this here. But I love you all a super lot, and we'll be back next week with 2 cards. Okay. Well, this will give me a little planning time to get set up for next week too. Diane says she will color also. Yes, I was going to say, if you all have this deck and you want to mod your cards in any way as we go along, please feel free to share those in the group, right? If you don't want to talk about your experiences or theoretical concepts, you don't have to. You can just color the back of the card and show it. So anyway, that's that. Thank you all so much for being here. I will see you next week. We'll probably go a little over next week with 2 cards because I'm ending early now, and that'll just be how it works out. So thank you, Jackie, Nancy, Tammy, Diane, Sue, everyone. I will see you next week. Love to you all.